In our last video, we discussed the most important element for your decision-making process when you were deciding where to launch your brand, either Amazon FBA or Shopify. In today's video, we'll talk about other important elements to think about before you make that decision. My name is Crystal. I'm a 7-figure e-commerce entrepreneur and brand builder. Before we dive in, this video is for private label brand owners and not for drop shipping. One of the most important factors to consider when you're choosing the platform is whether you wanted to do the hard things first and easy things later, or you wanted to do the easy things first and hard things later. Let me explain. Shopify is a platform where you do the hard things first and easy things later because Shopify doesn't have any inbuilt traffic, which means you need to drive people to your site. And that can be through social media or PR or word of mouth and any other methods, which means that for you needed to do a lot of manual work initially, whether it is through running Facebook ads, or whether it is through you letting other people know about your brand. You need to hustle hard for people to know you and trust you and giving you a chance. Shopify also doesn't have any building fulfillment systems, which means that if you wanted to fulfill an order, you either need to use your own shipping system or you need to use a third-party logistical partner locally so that Shopify can ship your products from there. Because Shopify doesn't have any built-in traffic, whatever you drive is yours, which means that you will have your own email list. You get to keep all the customer data. You know who they are. You know where they live. You know everything about them. And this data is yours. You can also demand a higher price of your product once your brand is more established because A, customers can't easily compare the price of your product with other brands because they're coming to your site, and B, once they have trusted you and know you as a brand, they don't mind to pay a premium price for your product. Shopify business also tend to command a higher valuation when they exit. Because let's face it, all the intangible asset in terms of brand loyalty, brand awareness, customer loyalty, and customer retention, as well as customer data, are something that makes a long-lasting brand and will give you a higher multiple when your business is acquired. Amazon, on the other hand, is a place where you do the easy things first and hard things later. As I mentioned in my last video, Amazon is a search engine. You don't necessarily launch a product that's unknown on Amazon. Products that are launched on Amazon are typically products people are searching for already. Amazon also has its own inbuilt traffic, which is about 4.5 billion a year. So you can imagine that if you launch a product that's in demand, you don't need to worry about customers. If it's well made, well searched, immediate sales will pour in with limited to no marketing activities. For example, a lot of big Amazon sellers don't even have social media presence for their brands. As a result, Amazon is an extremely product-centric search engine, and it doesn't really matter what brands you have. If you have product that people want, you will have sales from day one. You also don't need to worry about fulfillment. Fulfilled by Amazon Network allows you to fulfill any order that you may have in the country that you're selling. It can also help you to fulfill cross-border if you're in areas such as North America or Europe, where Amazon has a cross-country fulfillment network. However, the competition is fierce on Amazon. And since it's a marketplace, all products are compared with each other on the same website and on the same web page. If your price is higher than the market average, people would typically go to either a cheaper product or they're only going to give you a try unless you have something that is so different and something that they're looking for, but they cannot find anywhere. So unless you're a well-established brand, commanding a higher price on Amazon is typically quite hard. There are also over 2.5 million third-party sellers on Amazon, and Amazon itself also sells its own product. So you can see the sheer amount of competition, pressure of performing so that you stay alive. Usually, Amazon sellers are forced to launch new products every so often so that once their old product dies down, which inevitably that will happen just because of the competition, they can then still make sales on the new products that are maturing. So on Amazon, the pressures is always on. Doesn't matter whether it's competing on existing products with other competitors or the need of constantly launching new products. That's why short term, Amazon is great because it's easy. You can launch trendy products and chances are you will have sales right away. However, to survive on Amazon long term, you need to put in the effort and work and be prepared to outperform all your competitors. Amazon also charges fees from referral to fulfillment that can eat into your margin. Its referral fee ranges from 8% to 45% with an average of 15%, and its fulfillment fees typically adds another 15%. On top of that, Amazon business can see margins somewhere between 10 to 40% with 20 to 30% of net margin on average. And this is historical data. These days, if your net margin hits 20 plus percent, you are in a really good situation because it's getting more and more expensive to sell on Amazon, ranging from the increased price of its ads and also competition. On top of that, you're also at Amazon's mercy. They keep changing rules from storage limits to fulfillment fees. You need to be constantly on your feet and constantly absorbing new information to quickly adapt to the situation and so that your business can survive. Last but not least, as I mentioned about in my last episode, doesn't matter whether you use Amazon or Shopify, you can still build brands and in some cases, huge brands from these marketplaces. Each one of them has its pros and cons. You just have to decide which one is the best for you. I'm curious to hear from you what makes you to use that platform, and I'm curious to see your experience so far. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel. I will be sharing more insights into online business and e-commerce in the future.